Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to be building paper rockets from a template, and what we're going to need is a compressed air rocket template here, a pair of scissors, a couple different styles of tape. I like to use Scotch tape and a couple different varieties of duct tape, and we're also going to need a 1/2-inch PVC pipe about 10 to 12 inches long. It doesn't matter exactly how long it is, but this is close enough for you. And what we're going to do is we'll start by cutting out the template here. A couple quick comments here on the template itself. You'll notice in the template they have on the diagrams they'll have dark lines and they'll have dotted lines. The dark lines are meant to be cut along, and the dotted lines are meant to be folded along. So that's important to take note of. Also, two quick modifications to the template that I like to do to help make the rocket a little better. One is on the body tube itself. Rather than cut along the bottom line here, I like to cut from the top down both sides and right down to the bottom of the page. We'll give you a little more paper on the top tube and make the rocket itself a little stronger. Also, you'll notice here a little circle called the pressure cap. I'd also make that a little bigger too, not just along the black lines, but maybe a 1/4 inch wider than that. We'll also add some strength to your rocket for you. All right, so let's begin. I've actually done the cutting already, so I'll take this out of the way, show you what I've cut, and we'll get going here. First, body tube. Remember, you can see here on the body tube, I've actually cut along the top lines, and I've left some space here along the bottom to get more paper for the rocket. Cut out the 4 wings, fins for the rocket, which we'll use momentarily. I have the nose cap, and I have the pressure cap. And also, if you'd like to cut out, you can use. You don't have to use if you want to. There's also a little ruler, mini ruler called a fin guide, and we'll use that to help us place the fins on the rocket at a later time. So first and foremost, let's start with the PVC pipe and the body tube. This is the main part of the rocket here. We'll take it, we'll roll the body tube along the PVC pipe and pin it with the Scotch tape to start. Here, like this. And on the other end. And the trick is to get this fairly snug on the PVC pipe, but you don't want the paper sticking to the PVC pipe. So when you're done, the paper should move along the PVC pipe. Next, what we're going to actually, instead of taping this with Scotch tape along here, we're going to use some of the heavier tape. We'll use the duct tape here, make a stronger bond. This is the weaker spot in the rocket. And if it's not held together strongly enough, you will find the rocket will explode on the dock. So let's start by putting some heavier tape here, and to give the rocket some stability and some strength, and we will tape it tightly here. So we want to make sure it's a little shorter than the paper itself, so it doesn't stick to the PVC pipe. So here. And then we'll roll that along here, roll it nice and tight. And now we've got a fairly strong bond here. And then I'll just simply tighten it up again with one more piece along the top and bottom to make it stronger. I want the top right along the edge here. Again, be sure you don't tape the paper to the PVC pipe. It continues to slide, so we're good here. And then also do it on the bottom too. Here. And here. All right, so that is the main part of the rocket ready to roll. Paper's in nice and tight. We have some heavy packing tape here, and the rocket looks like it's ready to start. Next, we'll take the paper here, and we're going to put it right up put the paper along the edge, so the edge matches the top of the tube. And we're gonna get the top tube cap right here, the pressure cap, and put that on top right here, and then we're going to tape that to the top. And we'll use some Scotch tape to hold it in place to start with, and then we'll get it a little more reinforced in a minute. What we have here, as you can see, there is the cap on top right here. Now the trick to the cap here, of course, is to get this airtight. This is where the most pressure is going to hit the cap when the air is released from the rocket air pressure tank. This is what it's going to hit, so you want this taped up super tight. So I typically start by 4 or 5 pieces of Scotch tape to hold it in place, and then we're going to reinforce it afterwards with a packing tape. So one here, this way. This way here. And then I'll use again the heavy packing tape at the end here to reinforce it even stronger. And again, this is a key junction in part of the rocket, so it's important to make sure that this is on really tight. If you hit it, if you put in too much pressure on the rocket itself, this will explode on impact. So always make it nice and tight. So one heavy piece across the top this way. We'll fold it in here so it's nice and tight this way. And then we're gonna get one more piece in a minute. It's nice and flat here. Let's flush this way, and we'll wrap it the other way here also. And this I'm gonna put on, wrap it around here. So it's on nice and tight. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work. We'll wrap it tight this way, and then hold it, squish it down tightly with your hands. So now you have the rocket that is fitting on the PVC pipe. It can move in and out like this, not taped to the pipe itself, and it's reinforced structurally along the edge here and along the top. All right, next piece here are the fins. And again, you can notice on the fins, you can see when you look at them, they'll have dotted lines on them. So we're gonna start by folding in half along the dotted line in the middle, and then we'll flip it up, kind of like a little paper airplane on the edges. I'll show you in a minute here. Flip one here, and flip one the other way. So now you have a fin that is folded on this way. So you'll see a tip up this way and edges on the outside this way, so it folds this way. And we'll take those fins in a few minutes and we'll put them along the bottom like this as a fins. And we can put in either 2, 3, or 4 fins. I will put in all 4 to show you how it works. So there's the first one folded. We'll put all 4 together and put them on at the same time. So keep the folding going here. Fold it on the middle. Fold up along one dotted line. Flip it over. Fold along the next dotted line. And put it aside. We now have 2 of them. We'll flatten it out here. Hang on. So now it's flattened along here, along this edge. The next one over here, we'll fold again down the middle. Flip up the edges. Turn it over. Flip up the edges. Then we have the third one right here. Put that aside here. And the fourth one, we will follow the same pattern. Fold in half along the dotted line. Fold up along the dotted line this way, flip it over, fold the other way, and then we now have our 4 fins. So what I like to do on these ones is take a little bit of tape, put them in place, and then we'll reinforce them in a minute. So we'll take this first one along the bottom, just tape it like this, just to hold it in place on both ends here. Hold that in place, hold this side. We'll take this one in place here too. One here and one here. So what you'll notice is the rocket is nice on this edge here. The rocket is squished together. The rocket fin is squished together, nice and tight. We'll flip it the other direction now. On the opposite side of the rocket, we'll put in one more fin. Again, just pin it in place with a piece of tape to start with. And then do the same thing on the other side of the fin. Flip it this way. Tape down here. There's 2. Now we're on to the 3rd and 4th one. Here. Tape. Flip it over. Tape it this way. Okay. And then the last one, we'll flip this way. Tape it here. And tape it here. Then you got your rocket this way. It has your 4 fins on it. You can see here. So these are good to go. And we will reinforce them now with a little more extra tape. It's not critical, but it helps a little bit just by putting some tape down the middle to hold them in place so they don't fall off. Last one here, 4. Okay, our fins are in place. We now have the nose cap, the body tube, and the fins. The last piece now is the nose, and this takes a little bit of twisting here. My suggestion actually is to build the nose first and then put it on the jet. So we'll take the nose cap, twist it so it looks like a kind of a funnel. Again, we'll put it in place just to start with. So a little bit of tape to hold it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's going to look like this, a little cone now. So you have your cone tip at the front, and you can now strengthen the rocket in a minute. We will take some more tape, run it along the seam and along the top so it's all folded over. And then that is the tip of the rocket. Now what you also want to do with the tip of the rocket is to reinforce it, to make it a little stronger. What you do for that, you simply put some the extra materials crumpled up inside of the cone. So we'll take some of the other products we had over here, just some extra from the cutting. We'll tear it into little bits. We will tighten it all up here and stick it in the nose cone. And then from there, we take the nose cone then, we'll tape it easily onto the top. Not too much pressure, we'll just put it on in place to start with, and then we make it stronger afterwards. You'll notice the rocket has a few of these down cuts right here. We'll tape right along there. And we'll tape this way, right here, and then 1 or 2 more pieces of tape along the rocket. And I do 1 more giant wraparound with the heavy tape. And this one will make it a little more colorful. We'll use the pink tape just for fun. You can use any color you like to, of course. And we'll cut that here. And then we wrap it around the edge of the nose of the plane this way. So it's nice and tight. So we have a nice seal now on the nose cone itself. So that is it. We have the nose cone and with the tape on it, nice and tight, fins, body, and we have the rocket. So now in order to launch the rocket, what you're going to do is take the piece of PVC pipe out of the rocket base. So the base is now empty. The PVC pipe can be put away. You're done with that. Give that to somebody else. And there is your rocket ready for firing. Bring it all over to the compressed air machine, put it on top, and fire away. Good luck and have some fun.